Welcome to Axiom Reporting Web Client Training for Dashboards. Today, we will discuss the dashboards available in Axiom's web client. Let's first take a look at the operational dashboard, since this is usually the home page for most Axiom users. The operational dashboard is best described as a budget development view for management and college business officers. This dashboard is only for UA, so only Chart A is available for the operational dashboard. Use the Filter panel on the taskbar to enter your refresh variables. Refresh variables include fiscal year, period, organization code. If Chart A is chosen, it will pull all orgs in Chart A. Here's a tip when searching for an org or an org roll-up. Enter the chart at the beginning. For instance, A204 will find anything that starts with 204. If you just enter 204, it searches for anything containing 204. Currently, you'll notice there is an Axiom defect that does not pull the correct org title. Rely on the org roll-up number. For instance, I know that A2040 is Arts and Sciences, the college, although it pulls Youth Art as the title. For this dashboard, you may choose org roll-ups and all the way down to individual orgs. There's also a fund type group refresh variable. Education in general, unrestricted, restricted, and plant are your options. These are your spendable funds that are categorized on the Sources and Uses report. You may also filter down by the funds in your fund type group. This field is optional. You can select specific funds, or by not selecting, it selects all the funds within the group. Fund 11999, Net Position Reserve, and all inception to date funds, for instance, contracts and grants, cost share, internal grants, athletics, and construction projects are excluded on this dashboard. Once we apply our refresh variables, our dashboard displays. To the left of the screen is a table, similar to a business unit's income statement. The drop-down in the top right of the table allows you to change the view among three different data set options. The first option is original budget to actuals as of a certain period. The table also includes a variance dollar amount and a variance percentage. The red triangles to the right indicate potential warnings where expenses could be over budget or revenues under budget. The second drop-down option is adjusted budget to actuals as of a certain period. The adjusted budget will include adjustments for centrally funded fringe benefits as well as any other budget adjustments made. The third option in the drop-down is prior year actuals to current year actuals. The red triangles here indicate expenses that have increased over the prior year or revenues that have decreased over the prior year. The middle section of the dashboard displays a couple of donut charts. The first is revenue and recovery by type. Each revenue source is listed along with its percentage to total revenue and recovery. By scrolling over the donut, you can view the amounts and percentages associated with each revenue or recovery source. The second donut chart is expense by type. The drop-down displays different data sets, salaries and benefits, or operating expenses. The line and bar chart located at the bottom of the dashboard is expense tracked by month. The total expenses for current and prior years are displayed as line graphs. The drop-down allows you to choose among categories of expenses. Comparisons of specific expenses or expense groups are shown as bar graphs. The line graphs continue to display total expenses. The top right-hand corner of the dashboard contains the name of the dashboard, the refresh variables used, and any special notes to the user. The final component of the operational dashboard is a set of 4 key performance indicators, or KPIs. Moving clockwise, the first KPI is for revenue. The percent shows the percent of actual to budget. The amount listed beside the B is the budget amount. This is adjusted budget unless original budget versus actuals is displayed in the table to the left. The amount listed beside the letter A is the actuals amount. A green gauge underneath indicates over budget for revenues and recovery and under budget for expenses. A red gauge underneath indicates under budget for revenues and recovery and over budget for expenses. The vertical black line indicates the targeted budget. Recovery KPI follows, then the operating expense KPI. The operating expense KPI includes a drop-down for different data sets, for scholarships and fellowships, and all other operating expenses. The final KPI is for salaries. It also includes a drop-down for different salary data sets. The next dashboard we will discuss is the Executive Summary Dashboard. This dashboard is a high-level financial statement view following the categories of the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. It compares the original Board of Trustees budget to actuals for charts A and T, Crimson Tide Foundation. Those can be viewed individually and combined. This dashboard also has a drop-down option for prior year versus current year actuals. Another option is to view the data by org, but this is only allowed for division and college roll-ups. This view only compares prior year actuals and current year actuals. The data for this dashboard includes all funds, but only on a fiscal year basis. So use the filter panel on the taskbar to make your refresh variable selections. Choose Apply. It may take a few moments as Axiom calculates the data. The table on the left is the high-level financial statement view. The drop-down will only show prior year actuals versus current year actuals when a report type of by org is chosen. Otherwise, the option can be changed to original budget versus actuals for report types of UA only, Crimson Tide Foundation only, or UA and CTF combined. The middle section of the dashboard contains 2 donut charts. The first is revenue by type. Drop-down options include all, operating, or non-operating. The percent shown by revenue category is the percent to the total revenue, total operating revenue, or total non-operating revenue, depending on the drop-down selection. The second donut chart is expense by type. The expense categories are shown as a percent of total operating expenses. At the bottom middle of the screen is a bar graph of tuition rates for the fall semester beginning the fiscal year. Rates are shown comparing resident versus non-resident tuition for various degree levels. The upper right corner shows the name of the dashboard, the refresh variables used, and any special notes for the user. The table beneath the header shows a breakdown between operating revenues and non-operating revenues. Below the revenue breakdown is a combined line and bar chart of expense tracked by month. The total expenses for current and prior years are displayed as line graphs. The drop-down allows you to choose among categories of expenses. Comparison of specific expense groups are shown as bar graphs. The line graphs continue to display total expenses. The final chart on the screen is for enrollment data for the fall semester, beginning the fiscal year as of census. It shows a comparison of 4 years broken down for graduate versus undergraduate and resident versus non-resident. The total enrollment is represented by the line graph. The tuition and enrollment data is for UA as a whole and does not change if particular org roll-ups are selected. The next dashboard available in our navigation panel is the monthly scorecard. The monthly scorecard is a high-level view by division or college for Chart A only. It shows the percentage of actual resources used to the budget at a point in time. A drop-down lets you compare either actual to original budget or actual to adjusted budget. Columns included are faculty salaries, professional and exempt salaries, non-exempt salaries, student salaries, overtime salaries, and operating expenses. It's important to note that operating expenses do not include scholarships, since scholarships are typically posted 2 or 3 times a year in a cyclical fashion that could skew these percentages. The target percentages show the typical amount of expenses for the categories based on the time period selected. For example, when period 3 or December is chosen, 3 months out of 12 have passed. So this should mean 25% of the year is complete. The faculty salaries target percentage is higher to account for the fact that many faculty work 9 months instead of 12 months. Be sure to review any items for your college or division that exceed the target percentages. This could mean that your expenses are trending over your budgeted amounts for the year. Student salaries, overtime salaries, and operating expenses could be more cyclical and not follow any defined percentage. Just note any variances that seem odd and investigate these. The fund type group for this scorecard is the education and general group. This group consists of funds 11,000 through 11,012. The focus is on operating funds budgeted from tuition and fees and state appropriation dollars. The next dashboard is the monthly scorecard F&O. This is specifically for Finance and Operations Division. Categories presented are by assistant or associate vice president areas, and all data is similar to that mentioned for the monthly scorecard, except there is not a category for faculty salaries. Other dashboards will be added as needs arise. The navigation should basically be the same for each dashboard. You would choose your filters the same way. There should be any special notes that appear in the header. And this wraps up our review of Axiom dashboards in the web client. Please check out our other training videos on Axiom. If you have any questions related to Axiom or Axiom dashboards, please contact the Office of Finance Technology and Data Integrity. Thank you.